Good morning, children. Welcome to Mahila Samaja online classes. Subject Science. Topic The living organisms, characteristics and habitats. Class 6th standard, chapter number 9, session number 1. Children, in this lesson we are going to learn about organisms and the surroundings where they live. Let us discuss, okay? All the places were so different from one another, correct children? So, some places were cold, some were hot and dry, and some other places were humid. All of them will have different organisms, correct? Each and every place they will have a different organisms, different living things. Understood, children? So next point, the deserts have camels, the mountains have goats and yak, crabs, a fish on the beach, different creatures like ants, insects, living organisms will present in all the different locations. Correct, children? Yes. The different kinds of plants are found in each regions which are different from plants of other region. Correct? See, they given some of the examples to understand different organisms they live in different places. See, first one is camel, next is goat, correct? Yak, crab, fish. Okay, children? Children, next is habitat and adaptation. So, you have already studied in previous class what do you mean by habitat, correct? So, once again I will recall that habitat means the natural environment of an organism, place that is natural for the life and growth of an organism. Okay. In the sea, plants and animals are surrounded by saline. So what do you mean by saline? Salty water. Most of them use air dissolved in water. Okay. There is a very little water available in the desert. Already we know that, correct? There is a very little water available in the desert. It is very hot in the daytime and very cold at night time in the desert areas. Okay, children? The animals and plants of the desert live on the desert soil and breathe air from the surroundings. Okay? The sea and the desert are very different surroundings and we find very different kinds of plants and animals in these two regions. Okay? Let us look at two different kinds of organisms from the desert and the sea, a camel and a fish. See, which animal is called as sheep of the desert? Camel is the sheep of the desert. Camel, correct? Children, the body structure of a camel help it to survive in the desert conditions. The camel have long legs. See, observe the below given image of camel. See, they have long legs, correct? Which help to keep their bodies away from the heat of the sand. It will protect the heat of the sand. Okay? They excrete a small amount of urine. Okay? Their dung is dry and they do not sweat. since camels lose very little amount of water from their bodies. They can live many days without water. They can live many days without water. So, the camel is called as ship of the desert. Children, so let us learn about fish. There are so many kinds of fish with different in size and shape. Correct? All fish have streamlined shape. This shape helps them move inside water. The fish have flat fins and tails that help them to change directions and keep their body balanced in water. It can move easily from one place to another place. The gills present in the fish help them to use, that means breathe, oxygen are dissolved in the water. With the help of gills, the fish can breathe. Okay, this is the image of fish. Yes, children, now let us discuss the meaning of adaptation and habitat. All the organisms, that means living organisms, will have different features. So what do you mean by features? Characteristics, different characteristics that help them to live in the surroundings is called as adaptation. See, once again I will repeat. All the living organisms will have different characteristics that help them to live in the surroundings is called as adaptation. Adaptation of the organisms differ depending upon their place. They depending upon their place. That is why a fish cannot live out of the water and camel cannot live in sea. Correct, children? Yes. The place where organisms live is called as habitat. Already we have discussed the previous slide. So what do you mean by habitat? Correct? The natural home or environment of an animal or plant or other organisms is called as habitat. Habitat is also called as a dwelling place. What do you mean by dwelling place? A home. Okay. The habitat provides food, water, air, shelter and other needs to organisms. Several kinds of plants and animals live in the same habitat. Okay, children, this is about adaptation and habitat. Okay, children. Children, now let us discuss terrestrial habitats and aquatic habitats. Already you have studied in the previous class, correct? Terrestrial habitats are one of that are found on land like forest, grassland, deserts, shorelines and wetlands. They also include man-made habitats like farms, towns and cities. And also the habitat that are under the earth like caves and mains. So in this class we will discuss in detail. Okay? The plants and animals that live on land are said to be terrestrial habitats. So what do you mean by terrestrial habitats? The plants and animals that live on land are said to be terrestrial habitats. Some examples of terrestrial habitats are forest, grasslands, desert areas, coastal areas and mountain regions. Mountain regions. So what do you mean by terrestrial habitats? The plants and the animals that live on land are said to be terrestrial habitats. Okay, see, observe the below given images. These are all the terrestrial habitats. Now let us discuss aquatic habitats. The plants and animals that live in water. Where they live? That live in water are called as aquatic habitats. What do you call that? Aquatic habitats. The plants and animals that live in water are called as aquatic habitats. For example, ponds, lakes, oceans, rivers are the some of the examples of aquatic habitats. See, observe the below given images of aquatic habitats. Children, the organisms, both plants and animals, living in a habitat or its biotic components. All the organisms, that means both plants and animals, are living in a habitat or its biotic components. Similarly, the non-living things such as rocks, soil, air, water in the habitat includes its abiotic components. See, observe the below given image. Biotic components are living things. Abiotic components are non-living things. See, abiotic components, that means living things such as plants, animals, bacteria, fungus, protists. Okay, these are all the examples for biotic components. Now, abiotic components, that is non-living things: water, soil, light, minerals, air. These are all the biotic things and non-biotic, biotic and abiotic components. Okay, children? Children, observe carefully. Activity: collect some dry moong seeds, keep 30 seeds aside and soak the rest in water for a day. Divide the soaked seeds into 4 parts. How many parts? 4 parts. Keep 1 part submerged in water for 3 to 4 days. Do not disturb the dry seeds and those submerged in water. Keep 1 part of soaked seeds in a sunlight room, okay, and another completely in a dark region like a cupboard that do not allow any light to come in. Okay, keep the last part in very cold regions or cold surroundings. After few days, we can find that, or we can notice that different seeds will have a different germinate, correct, in a different size. See, observe the below given germination image like this. By this, we can realize that abiotic factors. Would you remember that? Abiotic factors like air, water, sunlight. Correct, children? These are all the abiotic factors. Soil. These are all the very essential, very important for the growth of plants. These abiotic factors are very essential for the growth of plants. Okay? Children, I think you all understood this concept. That means session number 1. So note down the home assignment. Answer the following questions. First question, define adaptation. Second question, write the characteristics of a camel. Third question, what are terrestrial and aquatic habitats? Fourth question, give a few examples for abiotic components. So we will join in the next session. Thank you children. Take care.